Silent of fall! Lakewood are doing it! They're gonna take! He's gonna bring down Birdie! Almost with a double kill! Dropping fast! Monopoint's there! He's still alive! Wait, second slide! He's going one side! He's going a second! He's taking it up! Oh my god! On three! They're all dead!
Hello everyone, how's it going? We're back. It's the Summit 2, and we're in the C Division, the round robin stages, if you will. There are going to be 4 best of ones for you this early morning or afternoon, I guess, wherever you're coming from. Should be a solid time. I'm all up here alone, and well, I'm going to bring you some casting action here. I'm Coddle Guy, but I'm not going alone. I got a friend with me, a good C expert, if you will, to help me along the way. It's going to be Blaze. Blaze, are you there? Can you hear me, my friend?
Yeah, loud and clear. I'm looking forward to these games. Obviously, Team Malaysia, aka Titan, are looking really, really strong. In between sponsors for now, but no less a very powerful force to be reckoned with in the SEA scene. And of course, MVP Phoenix have been really pulling some interesting matchups as well. They've been upsetting a few teams. They've been showing that they've got a lot of chops since their performance in the international as well as in Star Ladder previously. So looking forward to see what they bring. And in general, a great day of SEA Dota.
Excellent. I'm glad you're so excited. I'm going on a little sleep, but I'm excited to truck my way through. And for all you avid fans out there, we've already had a wealth of Dota today with ESL 1. But for those of you trucking on through, we appreciate it. Let's go ahead and hop into the draft right now. And there it goes. I'm going to adjust some volumes here. Make sure I got Dota unmuted, ready to go. This is a lot of equipment here for me to take on solo here, but I'm glad I got you by my side, my friend, and here we go.
10
well,
seconds remaining.
well, look what we got here. A matchup between MVP Phoenix going against Team Malaysia.
remaining.
I guess almost you could say the reincarnation of Orange, now back in action. This is a team I got really excited
Radiant
about
team
seeing them
pick.
get back together. And, well, at the start of this draft, it looks like Phoenix are going to grab up the Brewmaster and the Naga Siren. Get your resident sleepers ready, my friends. And Team Malaysia with their Puck and their Visage. So, real exciting as far as bans. We got rid of the Tidehunter, the Death Prophet, of course. Just goes without saying, Blaze. We got to get her out of the mix. Drow, after seeing the Visage pick up, an Alchemist, and for the side of Malaysia, we got rid of that Weaver. We got rid of that
10
Medusa.
seconds
We got rid of Skywrath, and of course, we got to get rid of Ancient Apparitions. So,
5
nice,
seconds
intriguing start
remaining.
from both teams, if I say so myself.
Yeah, I think the one that stands out the most is the first phase
Reserve
Medusa
time.
ban. I'm not sure if it's something that MVP Phoenix have been running a lot specifically or if it's just a meta-based ban, but I really think Medusa is very strong this patch, and it's something that if you see it on the board early, you have to draft around it. You have to pick maybe 2 heroes that are oriented around mana burn or disarm effects so that she is not going to be able to just do what she wants to, which is tank away and do her split shot stuff. And in this case, taking it out early, they get to play their own game. They get to draft their own
MVP
style, and we already
Phoenix's
see it
turn
coming into
to
play a
pick.
little bit here. Most likely a solo mid Puck. Ohio doesn't pick it up for the offlane very often. And then Visage and Sven could be the support roaming duo.
Enchantress.
Either way, we're going to see Extinct
Radiant
on that
team
Visage
pick.
because he just loves to play that hero. I mean, it is really a great pairing, and yeah, we'll see what they can accomplish with this.
This guy gets really excited about his Visage. Almost excited as I get about seeing a Coddle picked up. I mean, there's even that infamous gif out there where he just sees it and he gets all
MVP
percolated about it.
Phoenix's
And there's a
turn to
reason why. This guy plays a mean Visage. He can control the birds very nicely. He can find the farm, and he's right up there with your, like, Owie style Visage players. So I'm real excited that he gets his signature hero, and I'm expecting big things, so please, my friend Extinct, don't let me down. Now, they followed it up with a nice, intriguing grab of the Sven and a Lion. Now, Sven I've seen more as like a counter pick, whereas, you know, maybe if you see a Death Prophet picked up and you need someone to
10
add a little more
seconds
survivability
remaining.
to your team, a little more armor, and then go with that heavy burst, you know, maybe
5
being able to rip
seconds
through
remaining.
towers very promptly so. But we're going to see it here. Maybe the Cleave, I guess, would help out a bit against Naga and her
Reserve time.
precious illusions. And then Lion's going to be right by his side with the heavy lockdown treatment. And also a bit of extra burst there with his fingers. So I like the grabs right there for MVP Phoenix. They get a hold of the Enchantress. So maybe looking to go a little aggressive early, you know, hoping for the best as far as RNG in the jungle and being able to add extra pressure on that mid lane if it happens to be the
Radiant
Puck.
team battle.
Which, if it is, Puck, got to be one of the slipperiest critters out there in the mid lane. So that's going to be a feat in itself. But if you need someone to lock down and target down and hold down a slippery critter like that, Batrider is going to be the one to do it. And it's going to be their 4th grab here for Phoenix,
10
and who I would
seconds
imagine being their
remaining.
offlaner.
Yeah, I figure so. I think the Enchantress was almost
5
kind of a
seconds
denial pick
remaining.
to some extent because we do see the Visage Enchantress being a combo that Team Malaysia does run quite frequently
Reserve
with Net picking
time.
up that enchant. But in this case, obviously the line's going to be filling those shoes, and we'll have to see what MVP Phoenix can accomplish with the Enchantress. I wouldn't say that really the support players of MVP are the all-stars
Hmm.
of their lineup. Usually you look at their core players, you see them making cool plays with Ember
MVP
Spirits and Brewmasters and
Phoenix's
stuff, and you say
turn to
that's where it's
ban.
at. But honestly, they still have a good backbone there, and I can expect some pretty awesome micro skills coming out of that. I am a little bit worried though. I mean, when you get hexed up as an enchantress, you get so hit by a soul assumption as enchantress. This is a very low EHP hero,
Yeah.
so she's gonna
10
have to stay on the
seconds
back line
remaining.
for an extended period of time during the fights, and just
5
probably not even put
seconds
any in points in
remaining.
untouchable because if you look at it, there's just so much
Radiant
magic nuke
team
flying
pick.
around that it probably isn't going to do you much good. But we'll see how he wants to build it. For now, the final bans, Faceless Void and Rubik, are going to be taken out. And we're looking for the last pickup, most likely for Ohio's offlane. I would expect a Nature's Prophet here, but only if he's confident that he's not going to get picked off whenever he goes to split push.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know personally know Ohio's pool. It's been a while since I've seen him play. If it happens to be maybe an off-lane puck and they want to go for a mid laner, I'm just going to casually throw out the
10
Ember
seconds
Spirit as a
remaining.
grab. He works great with Sleight of Fist and taking out those illusions of Naga if it is going to
5
indeed be a
seconds
core
remaining.
Naga. But we've seen crazy things, e.g. Eve just earlier today. They rolled their Naga Siren as
Reserve
support.
time.
Sometimes when you grab the precious Naga early, the opposing team will look to kind of counter back. And if it gets to a point where like, okay, they're really countering back our Naga, we might need to play an audible here. But that's the fantastic thing about some of these heroes who can just kind of play in multiple roles. So we'll
Yeah.
see if that's going to be the case or not. It could very well be an offlaner. I know he does enjoy like a Nature's Prophet if they want to divert attention elsewhere and they
I
don't
would
really.
actually really love to see a Darkseer here. With the puck, with the Sven, the cleave that we already see here, if you can get the Illusion Steal on the Naga Siren with your Wild Replica, and you can get the Vacuum for the Sven setup, Mushi's just going to cleave face. But we'll see if that's kind of the route they want to go with.
I would love to see a Darkseer. It's been far too long since I've seen one played, and he is very action-packed, and he makes for a great crowd-pleasing experience and just a great team fight overall. And if Phoenix decides to go utility, maybe the Brewmaster, because I feel like the trend as of recently is we're not seeing as much Agnum Scepter grabs on Brew, but maybe going more utility, more aura, and that only helps out a Darkseer that much more, using the benefit of those illusions on your own side. So we'll see if that's going to be the case.
10
They're
seconds
really nursing the
remaining.
clock here, down to the final seconds on how they're going to decide to pull it all together, and
5
this will ultimately
seconds
reveal their strategy.
remaining.
It is going to be an offlaner, and it's going to be a
MVP
Timber Saw,
Phoenix's turn
which
to pick.
from the people I've gotten a lot of opinions from, a lot of mixed feelings about this hero. I know when I was doing the America side of things for the Summit 2, F4L felt very cold about the hero, that couldn't perform a lot, but we saw in the hands of Root Gaming that they could do big things with the hero. If he does manage to snowball, which is very much a possibility going against some of these heroes, and also he offers a lot as far as clearing
10
out those
seconds
illusions, of course.
remaining.
He can get out of control quickly, and he could divert attention elsewhere
5
while maybe your
seconds
Sven
remaining.
core builds up more and more and more. So we'll see how it works out. We don't see as an offlaner
Reserve
too
time.
often. And looking at the lanes he could be going against, if it is going to be a roaming enchantress, he might not see a whole lot of pressure. So I like the ban. He's fun to watch, so I'm excited about it.
Yeah, it's very interesting to see him here, and I think there is a lot of potential for his just ability to kill off lower HP heroes. Naga Siren and Enchantress will have a really rough time of it, and it will be the kind of their tempo controlling hero. It's based on his rotations that they're going to establish momentum. I mean, Puck is great for range of initiation when you get that Blink Dagger up, but Timbersaw, he's got it built in. He can just jump right on at level 6 and start causing grief, and that'll give enough for the war cry jump in to happen. And it really is going to be about momentum forward for Team Malaysia. We're going to see the Silencer try to put that in its tracks a little bit, maybe make it more difficult for Timbersaw to move about the battlefield. But
Yeah.
the bottom line is right now there's going to be a lot of great early team fight and a lot of kills on the board for Team Malaysia. And QO is just going to be trying to kind of make up for lost time building up the Naga. But even when she gets the Radiance, Lion has two ways of killing off the illusions. They have, as you mentioned, great cleave clear, so it really is going to be on Raisin and March to buy MVP Phoenix so much time that Kyo's illusions just get way too big.
And we'll have to see. I would imagine for the game plan of Phoenix is just trying to, stretch the game out a bit, protect their precious Naga, divert the attention elsewhere, try your best to hold, not feed anything over too early. You already talked about how you don't want to be able to throw anything away, especially on your Enchantress, who's already going to be weak enough as it is. And hopefully they can allow their Naga to just kind of move on forward into a precious late game. For Team Malaysia, it's more about adding pressure early. Maybe if you can get objectives
Prepare
done,
for
take down
battle.
towers, and keep the pressure going, and restrict the farm and suffocate your Naga from getting to that point. But without further ado, my friend, we're in the match now. Remember, these are all best of ones. It's a round-robin series to see which teams are going to move on to the official C Summit. And I'll go ahead and lead things off here, if you wouldn't mind. On the Radiant side, we got Team Malaysia formed together after recently being a part of Titan and almost, like I said, the reincarnation of Orange, as they're already heading to the jungle here. Actually, I might have to hold these introductions. They want to go into the jungle and take anything away from Enchantress, but they're going to catch Forev here. Early Hex and early Burst to come. Can they get the first blood right away? Orb to fly. They're going to get it right here, Blaze, and there it is. Without even 20 seconds taken away on the clock, it seems. We're going to immediate first blood on that brew. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Summit 2. I'll go ahead and just continue on with your introductions. Ohio is indeed going to be playing your puck. Net is going to be right there on your support line. Extinct playing his very precious Visage. Over here we got Mr. Oh my gosh, on the Timber Saw. Oh, Y. It's not Y though. What is it? KYXY.
Oh, KYXY actually. Sorry.
KYXY, of course. He's playing your Timber. Mushi, none other than the most prized, a very favorable player, if I say so myself. He's going to be playing your Sven. And finally, I think that's everyone actually already went through. Blaze, if you wouldn't mind, why don't you go ahead and tell me about Team MVP?
Yep, we're going to be looking over the solo mid Naga Siren played by QO. Carrying it up in the safe lane is actually going to be Forev on the Brewmaster. This is going to leave him to be supported by both the Silencer played by March as well as the Enchantress played by Raisin. And then on the offlane, it is going to be Heen picking up that Bat Rider. So he's going to be boots first. He's going to have a pretty good time of it. We'll see how early the smoke gank comes out. But for right now, at least, I would have to say that the one thing that stands out to me as far as the early start here is Mushi doesn't have a stun. Used his War Cry as a level 1 skill to get everybody in position for that Hex and for that follow-through. And they'll have to at least farm him up to level 2 before they have some real kill potential down on this bottom lane.
And we'll see. Net gets the early haste, and he would love to got a hold of this Bat Rider, but for now going to use it to just kind of zone him back, prevent him from getting anything in that first wave of creeps. Also top lane, March is coming in from behind here, adding pressure on Ohio here on this puck, and just trying to keep him guessing. But I already talked about how elusive this puck could be. It's going to be tricky to get a hold and try to take down the fairy creature there. So we'll keep eyes out to see if it's happening. Meanwhile, mid lane, a Timber Saw, man. I haven't seen a mid lane Timber in quite a while. This is a nice little throwback. This used to be one of the old go-tos, if you will. And look at him add the pressure on this Naga. And maybe she's a bit out of her comfort zone going against this kind of matchup here. And I think Timber's really enjoying it.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, there is some magical nuke as Riptide gets skilled up, but in the early levels, KOXY just has full control of the lane, and there's no way that you gank a Timber Saw easily in this situation, not with the heroes that MVP have drafted. They will harass him back a bit with Enchantress's mana burn creep here. The Mind Stealer will put out 2 mana burns here, and KOXY won't have as much harass potential, but yeah, the damage is already done. QO is so darn low.
Man, he's down to 1 shared Tango, which is on cooldown at this point, but right there he promptly grabs up that bottle and gets back. But man, the pressure is very much real. Timber's off to a nice start, 12-3 right now, matching up to Naga 7-0. She's really trying to get in there and get the CS so she can match that quota, but Timber's making it very difficult. Top lane, we're going to see our first official battle of the 2-minute rune. It's a DD, and actually gets snagged up from Puck, stolen right there, and they sweep on through. Now they're going towards the top lane. Naga's going to take the long road around here, fearsome of maybe some rotations to come. Even Ryzen getting on the action, looking to protect it out. And, well, attention back towards bottom as they're making a move here on Bat. They throw out the Stormhammer, and they follow it up with a very nice spike. Lingering auto tech. Can we get one more? They want it. Can they get it? Net? No, they're moving on in, and they get it done. It's Mushi moving in from behind and slashes him down with that extremely big cosmetic sword. My God, that thing is huge.
Yes, it is, but you know, but it's pretty well fits the man that wields it. Mushi, he really is well oriented towards these types of heroes. Very recently, he's been playing a lot of Chaos Knight, obviously a lot of Sven, and even Wraith King. Like, he loves these single target right clicker carries. There are some weaknesses for the heroes, like obviously if he gets disarmed by something like the Silence Last Word, or the Ensnare locking him in place, he'll have a hard time staying on target. As well, we'll see the Drunken Haze give him a run for his money as far as just getting the right clicks in. But once he alleviates those effects with things like BKBs and MKBs and that sort of thing, then he's going to be in a really good position to just stay on target, to get these easy kills, and they certainly have the disable setup for it. We saw right there in the bottom lane, Heen was locked down for a very, very long time, and yeah, with that small buff to Earth Spike, it was enough damage to bring him down.
Indeed it was. So nice start here for Mushi in his safe lane to build up that early bit of farm. Extinct, he's just doing his Extinct thing. He's pulling out support, or the neutrals here on the side, keeping the Creepolibrium in their favor.
Well, this is interesting actually, because he actually missed the Centaur chain pull, so it's actually going to push out very heavily.
Now, yeah, it's a double wave.
Yeah, I'm curious if they want to go for a push off of this. In the meantime, mid lane, we're going to see this movement here. Level 1 enchant and the Star Stomp. Will it be enough to bring down KYXY?
Yeah, if they get it here, they're coming from behind. He makes the smart choice to go up, throws out the early Timber Chain for the extra movement. Here comes Oiho. He wants to be able to bodyguard out this Timber Saw and not allow anything away. The Coir's even trying to get on the action, it looks like, and that will divert their attention away from the targeted Timber Saw. And I'm sure he's happy he avoided that gank. Meanwhile, bottom lane, you got Bat. He's pursuing his other fellow flying creature here in Extinct, circling him about. He's got 3 stacks to happen right here. Net quickly jumps in as well. And it's very clear Team Malaysia are out and have each other's backs right now when any sort of pressure is coming their way.
Right now. The Warcry level 2 is popped off with this double wave, and they're going to chunk this tower down to like 25% HP in the first attempt on it. That's absolutely insane.
Yeah, attention's brought elsewhere as Bat's not near the lane to really defend it out. Now he shows up, but as you said, now it's down to half life right here with a full creep wave to pretty much go to town on it. Even Net looking to come in from behind, sees out March. March is hit with 1 stun. They followed up with the Hex and the Stormhammer. 1 more auto attack, and he goes down. That squishy silencer support can't hold up to all those stuns and big burst. And they take down another prize kill, pushing themselves ahead 3-0. And this tower now down to just about a 1/6 of its life right here. Potentially could, well, no, they're not going to get near deny range quite yet, but still, fantastic start here for Team Malaysia, especially in this bottom lane. Mid lane's going great, 32-6 for the Timber against Naga, 17-0. Very hard times for her. And in the off lane, well, this is probably the one lane they're struggling with, but, you know, 5-0, not too terrible. She hasn't fed anything away. On the opposite side, your Brew, he is a nice sporting 30-12 CS, working his way towards what looks like a straight Blink Dagger.
Yeah, so, I mean, in this position, like, he'll get it at a good time, but he's got to make great use of it in the very early stages. Like, Silencer is level 2 right now. Your big team fight turnaround ability, the Global Silence, is not going to be online for a very long period. It's going to be the Brewmaster to create space right now. Heen's level 3, so the Lasso is also not going to be finding pickoffs anytime soon. It is all on this Brewmaster's shoulders to get the game back under control, because right now, the Tier 1's slated to fall within the next 3 or 4 minutes. And obviously they're already leading 3-0. Malaysia are in well control of this game, and they want to keep it that way.
And they want to get in control here of the runes. Haste is going to pop up on top. Kyo's right there for it. Biotin was a Bat Rider picking up that bounty rune, so Naga waiting out for the bottle. Quickly want to, you know, rehydrate herself, get back those resources, and pick up the haste rune and head right back towards the mid lane, where it looks like we're going to see pressure on Timbersaw. They get out the Cursey. Timber chains away. No Net's going to hold him down. Throws out the shock rune, but he gets stomped out from the Centaur, and they're going to look to pursue here. And they also get a kill, though, on the back exchange there as Extinct rotates in and takes down that flimsy little Enchantress support. And March, oh man, that shock rune cuts down the Silencer with ease. And a Timbersaw pickup, another failed gank. This one really goes sour for MVP. 5-0. Really strong start here for Team Malaysia, which this is their game plan. When you're going against this core Naga, you want to be adding as much pressure as possible, and they are going swimmingly through it.
When you're a level 2 Silencer caught out in the river against a level 7 Timbersaw, you knew something went wrong somewhere. But yeah, looking back, they just need this Brewmaster more involved. He's got enough for the Blink now, but he didn't have enough for a TP and Blink, and it's just not the right timing. They win in, they win aggressive, and if they had gotten the kill easily on KYXY, great, but they have so much counter-initiation response. You see how powerful that Soul Assumption is when you've got all this front-loaded burst damage coming out from the Timbersaw. So the Brewmaster finally is online, and my goodness, do they need him right now. This is all about his next move, because if he does not get a kill within the next couple minutes, it's going to be a 10-minute loss for the side of MVP Phoenix.
He might need to look elsewhere. I mean, Puck is halfway towards her level 6, but, you know, still a tricky target to get a hold of. Primal Split might help, but, oh, mid lane, yeah, they burst on through. I saw the back end of that one, and at this point, KYXY has no respect for this mid lane Naga, and is like, if I have the window of opportunity, I will dive through it and take it to town, Fish Lady. And well, he gets it done again, pushes his team well forward, 6-0. He's easily got Arcanes. Might be looking to build towards that early Bloodstone, because at this rate, he'll get plenty of charges. Meanwhile, nearby in the enemy jungle, Bat Rider, behind enemy lines, gets caught out and quickly TP's back home here before the supports of Team Malaysia can scout him out. So he's not going to be there. They don't see it, and actually, they still think he might be around as they're floating about, maybe looking to stack, but he gets out. A bit of a hairy situation, but constantly still MVP, man. Just, you know, if they're caught out, they're down, or they're looking to get away. Nowhere near any point where they're going to look to go on the offensive, and Panda's not going for it yet. So we'll see when it's going to be the time when they're going to look to change the momentum back in their favor.
Yeah, like I'm looking at March here on the top lane, and he can't really zone out Ohio. He won't get killed off by him, but in this position, I think he's kind of just in a position where he wants to hide in the tree line and just get experience. Like, There's no flanking kill opportunity here. It simply is him just wanting to be in range of the creeps dying and get involved when Enchantress rotates in. For now, though, he's going to walk in clear vision, giving up the go.
Making a go, though. Bottom lane on Bat. They see Bat trying to take away this precious stack, and now Bat in the mix. Gonna get cut off. KYXY wants it, jumps in, gets it. Nice grab again. Your KYXY Timbersaw. He's on a killing spree. He's looking good. He's handsome. He's sporting the Ice set, but he is cool as a cucumber right now in this early laning phase. He's got his point booster, and indeed it looks like he's gonna go right for the Bloodstone. Hopefully he remembers that in the recent change, it takes a soul ring now. So I've seen many pubs forget that. So I would imagine he knows.
Yeah, we would definitely help.
Oh, it doesn't get any better for QO though. He comes in with a convenient invis, and he dies as well. This is looking like an early sweep right now. 8-0 as they move forward.
Mask of Madness on the Sven, Warcry at level 2, Cleave at 2. Look at Mushi here just farming away with this first effect of Mask of Madness. This is carry Dota for him. He's just able to build up a huge amount of momentum, treads Mask of Madness. He'll have a Blink or a BKB very soon indeed. And from there, like, how do you respond? MVP Phoenix, they still haven't used this Brew Split. The Naga Siren has gotten absolutely nothing from the lane. Bottle and Boots and Aquila is all she's running with, and the supports are severely underleveled as well.
This is rough. Rev is just really waiting out for his opportunity to try to bring it back for his team on this brew. No Primal Split, like he said, used. He does have his Blink. If he wants Arcanes, he can get it. If he feels like he might be a bit mana deprived, or he could just kind of hold it for now and put it towards a future security investment of, I don't know, maybe utility. Maybe he does decide to go Ags. We'll see what he decides to do here, but we'd like to see something from him, as they're going to desperately need to get themselves on the board just to feel a little more like morally up boosted so they can try to get back in this game. It's just rough times. Bat Rider, he's trying to get a hold of a Blink Dagger. He's still like halfway off the mark, and it's already about 11 minutes in, so he is way late for a quota on trying to get, you know, the initiation factor for his team in there. They only have the brew, and from how it looks, Team Malaysia are always right there at their teammates' backs, so even if he does find an opportunity to go in, he might be second-guessing himself on committing to anything.
Bottom lane is where the action is going to be. They're just going to go for a 4-man movement here, just trying to get anything they can. Extinct right now is the target of choice. He is very vulnerable right here. The Gravekeeper's Cloak level 1 does almost nothing for his durability, so he will be going down extremely quickly. But game sense, man, he just TPs out, and in the end, they're just going to be walking through the jungle, looking for an opportunity that just doesn't present itself.
And no one's there. I mean, they'll find no one. Maybe they decide, I guess we can go for the tower, but they would end up trading because pressure's on top. Team Malaysia, they're up there. They got Mushi, but meanwhile, nearby in the jungle, you can see QO gets caught out again. In their own side, nowhere is safe as Net and KYXY just roam on through. They see Naga, they want Tuna, and they get it. Put her up on a plate and take her on down. And now pressure on top lane here. They pull out the early fortification, which, remember, will instantly refresh, so you got to get it out there. They're going to go for a tier 1 exchange. They pull it out. They actually don't even use the glyph on Team Malaysia. Got to get used to the habit, you know, what I'm talking about. Even if it's going to go down guaranteed, it's that little bit of extra time to hold them there in their place. Maybe, you know, trick them up on trying to even get the last hit in there. So, you know, I guess their attention was more on top lane, and they go ahead and trade. But still, it's their game to have. Still undefeated, at least as far as kills, 9-0. Net scouts out, instantly takes out one of the illusions by pulling out the mana drain and moves on back. And, well, QO, I mean, she must have been bursted down so quickly because she does have Song if she needs to pull out defensively, but it looks like even then it's not going to be easy. 929 life. Net's nearby. They might go for it again.
Going down again. They have a perfect ward to scout him out. They're going to be able to
here it comes. Get it out now if you can, and he does. Wow, just desperately getting out from this one. Actually, Forev comes in. He's got a DD. Here we go. Pull out the bare necessities, if you will. They move on in. They want Net. Chuck him going to throw out. Wow! Naga taken down immediately. No holds barred right now as they pop out the coil. They want something. They're going to try to get it, and they're turning back, and they finally take down 2, but still, KYXY, he's not done yet. Cleans out another, gets himself a double kill, but now he's surrounded by 3 here. This is going to be tricky to get out. Long reach of that Timber chain, right? To get on out, he's getting kind of short on mana. They're slowing him down. They got the lasso. They got the curse. They're going to pull him under the tower. And this is going to take a lot of sweatiness. Oh, man, Extinct with the plays on the familiars, though. Slows their roll with the stuns, and KYXY makes his way out as they don't have anything else to try to burst him down. Still nice work for Team Malaysia, though. MVP finally get themselves on the board. Your new score, 12-2.
Yeah, they finally get some kills at least, and that's going to be, obviously, with them being so far behind, a big boon for them, but they're still losing a lot. I mean, even the familiars are enough to pick off the silencer there. They're pushing in the towers with War Cry, with the familiar right clicks, and they're going to, with the scout of this Observer Ward, find another kill.
Yep, they want Venison. They're going to chop it up right now, and they get it. The finger! Secured the kill with that one, Net, as he does burst him down. He's going to get his mana back from the Satyr, and just no relief whatsoever. MVP, they are not even safe in their own jungle finding the farm, and you're trying desperately to get your QO Naga to build up that farm, so she's taking what she can get. That leaves little to nothing for their supports as they just try desperately to aid one another and try to prevent the pressure coming their way, and that pressure is right now in mid lane as Mushi pulls out the God Strength and gets what he can in on this mid-tier 2 tower, and it looks like they will pull back, play it a little extra safe. Maybe they plant them and see if they can catch anyone out on the way in, but it's very apparent that Team Malaysia control this map and are going to begin slowly strangling back Team MVP.
Yeah, KYXY has a 14-minute Bloodstone. I can't imagine the win rate on 14-minute Bloodstone, but it can't be good. It cannot be good for MVP Phoenix. Just knowing how tanky this Timbersaw is, how much in utility he gets out inside him, and the Hex coming through him, Prev means he's probably going to fall. Nice global, though. Keeps him alive. Will it be enough time?
We'll see. They pull up the medallion, and they get it done. Very swift takedown. Once again, KYXY with the burst, and this is the snowball factor you want to see out of your Timbersaw, and he is getting it done right now. As mid lane, they quickly clean out. Naga still on the enemy side, getting what farm she can. This is obviously going to be your best bet for getting it, but she is ways off. 2.5k invested towards just getting that sacred relic, which hopefully you're trying to pull together by, what, 22 minutes, given if you have the free farm to just get it. So we'll see as the pressure's going to be on her, but even by that point, you have all these heroes with this cleave, with this big burst, that those illusions, even with the Radiance, they're just not going to hold a candle to the damage coming their way. So I can't help but feel like for MVP Phoenix, this is still very, very struggling for them. And here we go. They want the deer. They're moving on in. Can Ryzen get away from this one? No, the long-range Earth Spike catches her out. They burst her down with ease. There's another point in your Bloodstone. Oh, no. Batrider jumps in, thinking to get something done. They get the follow-up, though, from Brew. Nicely done there with the Primal Split. They can quickly burst down Visage, and now KYXY under pressure. Here comes Mushi. He goes full sunburnt mode as he pulls out the God Strength, jumps on in there with his new invested Blink, and begins to cleave it home. Batrider goes down, and now pressure on Forev, and Forev is done. They take two right back, just like that. So even when you feel like it looks like MVP Phoenix are going to get something done, they get more, and now Silencer. The last casualty at the end of that engagement, and godlike streak for your Timbersaw. That's 13 charges and 1,700 gold. I wonder if he's going to get a scepter. My God, this guy's rich.
Yeah, he pretty much has full opportunity to do that. Might even find Killer here. The song is available, though, so I think he will be able to get out, but having to pop the ultimate.
Oh, she gets off the song. Those birds are not going to let her go, though. We don't care about your songs, my lady, as we are going to just try to slow your roll. Does he want to catch up? He does. Nice single tree. He latches on. Wow, the longest Stormhammer I've ever seen in my life, and a Chakram follow-up, and that's all she wrote, as I guess you could say that's what happens when the fat lady sings, Blaze.
Yeah, I mean, maybe could have tried to go for a mirror image there to dodge the Stormhammer, but would have been cleaned up immediately after anyways, so it really doesn't matter. In this position, it's all about this Observer Ward that was placed here about 6 minutes ago. It's just been giving them so much vision. They've killed off Enchantress twice with that ward alone, harassed back the Naga Siren, forced a couple songs, and they're just, they've been pushing every button that MVP has, and to the point that their backs against the wall. If March finishes this mechanism, if they find a couple more pickoffs with Heen's Blink Lasso, maybe they bring themselves back into an okay position, but right now they're relying pretty much entirely on 6.8 here.
Forev's alone mid lane and runs right in the net. Net locks him down, and with some additional help from KYXY and a finger to follow up, they take down the Brew. That's 3 back-to-back takedowns on this Brew. So after he had gotten a hold of your Vlads and your Blink Dagger, I don't think he'll be getting near another item any day soon at this rate. And, I mean, just as easily, Team Malaysia could consider maybe moving back and going for a Roche. They have the medallion, they have the minus armor and the burst to do it, but they're like, we got a good thing going here. We're just going to continue to farm heroes in their jungle because they just keep serving them on up. So it's just looking so good for them. And KYXY, you know, when you got a potential like this on your Timbersaw where you're really snowballing, he'll go for a Blink Dagger just for that extra mobility. He's got 15 charges. Over and behind here, though. Looking to come in from behind with the smoke. They catch out Net. Net might go down. They pull out the global. They really want to get this kill right now. The long ball impetus does big damage, but the coil slows them down, and here comes the cavalry. Chakram flies in. They take down Silencer, and they move on in. Ryzen to fall next if they get it. They did manage to take down Extinct on the Visage, and they're still on hot pursuit here. They want to get a hold of this puck who needs to desperately bottle up and get some mana. Cyclone keeps going, though. They're holding KYXY in place before he can come in and unleash his load, and, well, he moves on forward. He sees Naga. Naga, though, does have the level 11. That's a level 2 Song of the Siren, so thankfully the cooldown is there and in their favor, but it's been all defensive. Uh-oh, Mushi jumps on in. See you later, Naga. Naga is done for, and she is sporting a 0-6-1 record. Yeesh, Blaze.
Game is hard. That's all I gotta say there. I mean, spending the song and not even getting out. Mushi just on point with his. He was just outside the fringe. He didn't even get like connected with the sleep. It doesn't really matter because obviously it would expire when the song ends. But as soon as it did end, he was right there, right blinking in and finding that opportunity. They could definitely go for Roshan if the song's on CD, but it really just depends on how much they care about the big bad boss man there. I mean, of course they could just keep farming away on the heroes of choice. We are gonna see a little bit of deliberation for KOXY as far as his next item. He does get a Blink Dagger, but does sell back the... Oh, he's going for BOTs. There we go.
I was like, wait, he got an energy booster, and he sold it, and then the gold just disappeared. But yeah, you're right. Over on the courier there, he's got the boots to travel. The mobility just continues to get better here for KYXY, as he'll just hold off any sort of future real damage output investments. I mean, that new Scepter ad with having the double chakram does add a little bit of extra late game potential to your Timber Saw. It is very mana dependent, but a guy with 18 charges, he just shrugs off, you know, mana dependency like it's nothing as he blinks on forward from this top lane, and they just continue to just keep the pressure alive all the way back right here. And, you know, still no thoughts of moving on in for the Roche, touching base with Mushi. He does have that BKB, and it still has 10 seconds. He has yet to even use it. It is shiny, glistening, and new. And we'll see what he decides to do with it here as they now add pressure mid lane. They got to finish this tier 2. And we'll see if there's going to be a defense here for MVP Phoenix as they're already down very, very much.
Oh boy. Puck ticking down. I think maybe the Familiar's getting in on that too, but over by the Secret Shop, the Courier will fall, and with that, Naga has to go for the Sacred Relic herself. Can't get the little donkey to do the dirty work for her. She has to make her way there, and that's a very difficult
dangerous
in this position. Especially, you see this Observer Ward on the eastern part of the map for the Radiant side. They're going to see her moving.
Yeah, trying to go outside this front gate and get a hold of a Sacred Relic is like jumping into a pool of sharks at this point when you're looking at Team Malaysia, as they are just like vultures constantly circling and adding pressure here. And, you know, I admire MVP Phoenix's effort, though. They're going to try their best to shrug this off. It's Naga Gaming. There's always a small sliver chance of comeback, but you're looking at a 12K gold lead, or at least team net worth lead for Team Malaysia. And it looks like they're going to try to get something rolling for themselves. They pull out the smoke, and they advance everyone, except for the Naga, towards this bottom lane. But the game sense is very much real here. Team Malaysia, they have nothing to do with this. They even ping out the area, maybe considering that MVP might be going for a Roche, as we'll see if they decide to rotate into that neighborhood.
Yep, right now just playing it snaky. We have to remember that all kills, even the support kills, if they pick off somebody from Team Malaysia, they're going to get a huge bounty from it just because of how far they are behind right now and how 6.82B takes effect. Not as dramatic as 6.2A, but nevertheless very, very important that they get the rubber band here because that'll put Nagasaran to her Radiance if they do get a kill. But the Smoke Gank does not succeed as they want to. He doesn't find the opening, and now we look into the pit. So you see Team Malaysia scouting it out, and actually they're pinging out on the side of their opponent. So, oh my gosh, March.
KYXY sees you there, March, and he does not have mercy. He just quickly slashes it down. They also want the other support, Ryzen here, circling this tree, but that tree's not going to help you hide at all. As now he goes down, and that's already 2 supports. It looks like a narrow escape right there from the Naga, and they're still pressing on forward, seeing who they can get. Mushi well in the head of the front lines, though, as they make a go on Forev, who doesn't need to pull out the Primal Split just yet, as Batrider is also nearby, but he's also wounded. Net jumps right in. Ooh! Can't catch him. Slippery as they quickly blink out from there, but now pressure's on their tier 2 here in the bottom lane.
Yeah, I mean, Mushi's still got this 10-second BKB, so he knows that no matter what happens, he's going to be fine. And BKB out of the Global Silence, BKB out of the Bruise Split. It's really only the lasso that can bring him down, and even then, he's got a lot of beef to him. So we'll see their next move. For now, with both tier 2s on bottom and in mid taken care of, pretty much the Roche is 100% theirs whenever they feel like claiming it. But for now, they're just going to take the enemy Ancients, and they're going to go back to doing their own thing, picking up the AC very soon. But it is worth noting that Naga Siren will progress towards this Radiance, and while it isn't the best timing, it isn't the end of the world. It's not like a 30-minute Radiance here. Yeah. It's still going to allow Kyo to farm.
Look at KYXY. He's like, I know you're going to want to farm your jungle. I'm going to take it away from you as best as I can, and we're not going to let up. We know that this is your point when you're going to try to split out those illusions. And look at that. He clears another wave before she can even get there. Just constantly cutting them down and suffocating her from the farm she desperately needs here. And they're not giving anything easy. And with that Lion, you know, I didn't even think of it during the draft, but with the Mana Drain, that is instantly one illusion out of the picture. So Ned is also putting in his work and his effort, and it's working very nicely for them. As, you know, if they're just kind of giving everything they can on the side of MVP towards Naga, these supports are not going to be getting any better. You know, this Enchantress isn't going to advance much further than her Urn. You know, Silencer, there's no way he's going to get this, you know, mech. It's already taking enough time as it is. He's trying to get the Hedress together, and he still has a recipe to work towards. You know, dream on for an Aghanim Scepter. But, hey, I mean, as you said before, if they do bring someone down, they did tweak the gold numbers, but the XP would also be very huge to have. If they can manage to get a hold of one of these precious bounties, if they could take down the precious KYXY and his huge, huge gold worth, we could see a turnaround. There's always a sliver of hope here, as MVP Phoenix are hoping to rise from those ashes and bring this game back.
Yeah, but right now it looks like Team Malaysia are just looking to slam that door shut. We do see some great defensive awards coming out from MVP Phoenix, but it isn't allowing them to get much control of their jungle, as the Geometry side does come out from Extinct, and he's probably going to be hanging on to this one for quite a while. The Radiance will tick down and get rid of Gravekeeper's Cloak, so he's still the squishiest member of their team, but as far as positioning goes, he's always going to be at least the third or fourth man into the fight. They've got so many great initiators that he can stay on the back line, and he can be the one to feel confident in his position.
Yep, and you know, MVP just scared and scurried together in this base. The supports especially just know, like, we have no leash to go out. We are now house-trained animals here. So we just have to just reside inside the base, and we know that there's constantly those sharks outside waiting to get a bite, waiting to get a piece of that meat, and just try to take in another kill, get another precious bloodstone charge, so that even if you do take down this Timbersaw, he'll be right back and ready to go with boots of travel to get right back in the fight, and it's still going to be scary. So if you do manage to come back and get that bounty, you got to try desperately to hold on to it, and they might look for some sort of behind-the-back play here. They would love to be able to maybe move on to Roche, maybe sneak it down there, but another big investment comes out from KYXY as he finishes his Shiva's armor here.
Yeah, and he's already got that instant respawn for just the charges that he has. He can be up to level 20 right now and still respawn instantly, get back into it. But we will see the Ned is looking to pursue onto Heen. Can't get in range though, and they're just going to be going back to controlling their own side of the map, because right now it actually turns out that as QO trying to TP away, luckily no way to interrupt. The Blink Dagger was on cooldown for the puck. But anyways, actually smoke play coming out from MVP as well. We'll see what they can accomplish with that. But while Team Malaysia were controlling MVP Phoenix's jungle, the safest place for them to farm was on the Radiant side. We'll see Heen looking for a pickoff, see where he gets the jungle.
Want it. They pull it back. They need to pull out the global, and they do. Forev jumps in also from behind. They're looking to zone back the rest of Malaysia, and this could be the comeback they want here. They do take down Ohio. That's a nice grab for them. They'll take what they can get at this point. They press on forward. Meanwhile, on the opposite side in the jungle, you can see they're looking for Naga. He moves on in. Stormhammer flies from Mushi. Oh my god! There was a Naga there, I think, Blaze, but not more. She is done, and that is a secured AC picked up there from Mushi.
I mean, the pickoff on Ohio was a 1,620 gold and 2,700 experience swing in favor of MVP, but it cost them 3 ultimates. It cost them any. That was pretty much the only thing they were going to get this game. I mean, this is their 6th kill for crying out loud, and yeah, in the end, their base is broken. The BKB comes out on Sven as he just man modes on this tower. They lose the core Naga, so she's not farming, and yeah, this is going to be looking to be a very quick GG if MVP don't do something quick. They're down on ultimates. They don't have any way of contesting Roche, and we actually see BOT plays with the familiars here. KOXY just clowning around a bit.
Yeah, very nice utility to have. He actually goes himself inside enemy territory, very confident as ever, as those ults have already been used on MVP, so this is their time to make a go. You know, no primal split, no global silence. Lasso is ready to go if the Batrider can snag someone and pull him into uncomfortable territory, but that is going to be a feat in itself, trying to grab it and get it away from maybe your blinking lion, from your already, Mushi, if he's not the target. They're not going to let anything go easy here, and as they don't get any objectives, it was a very nice time, Glyph, of course, to prevent Mushi from getting out the optimal damage on the structure. They pull back with what they want. They bring the tower down to like a quarter life. So that's like phase 1, I guess you could say, of Malaysia breaking high ground and doing damage inside the MVP base, rather. So it is taking a bit of extra effort here from Malaysia. They are playing it a little safe for now, and still neither team, taking the risk on moving on and getting something done. The Roche, I mean, maybe, Radiant are feeling a bit queasy about the idea. If Naga's nearby, could pull out a song. Batrider's probably one of the best, to try to interrupt anything happening in the pit. So I can understand why they're going to be shaky about the thought, and maybe they'll just consider instead going for objectives, as now they're looking to push down the bottom lane. But we might see a jump in here. Naga's leading out the front, has song ready to go. Nope, she's going to TP to mid lane and get her farm elsewhere.
Yeah, she did just pick up the BOT, so TPs are free for her, very short cooldown. She's very mobile, and essentially whenever she sees Malaysia moving in one part, then she gets to farm the other. And the reason that this is so advantageous is because of the Batrider. The Batrider forces Team Malaysia to move at least as 2 or 3. They're not going to be going for like 4-man play, 3-man play in the enemy jungle. So essentially that means that when he sees somebody on one side of the map, he knows that they have to be moving together. He knows that he's going to be safe. But Ian, on the other
going
hand,
on Roche. They find Bat trying to come into the area, and they're going to try to take him down here. He's silenced up, but doesn't matter. The Chakrams continuing to do work, and they burst down the Bat, and this is pretty much an easy Roche at this point. Without the threat of him being in, it's just going to be a matter of time. I would imagine Mushi's probably going to be the one to pick up the 8s. Actually, he's pretty stacked, so he might just hand it off to someone else, maybe even KYXY or something. But they're going to get it down relatively easy here, and we'll see what they decide to do. It's actually going to be Nets. Lion now will have the second life to work with, as a very confident Team Malaysia here. Clean out the Roche, and we'll see what the next objective for them is going to be. Maybe trying to finish what they started there in the top lane.
Yeah, they need to keep pressure on QO here. Even though he doesn't have any mana to farm with, he still does have that Radiance. It does accomplish quite a bit. So with this Aegis, they do need to look to cinch the win. If you wait another Roche cycle, you're giving way too many comeback opportunities for MVP Phoenix. We don't really see the ticking time bomb just yet, but eventually Naga will get there, where she is a little bit too much to deal with. But, oh, Mushi, he has other plans. Look at the damage.
Wow. Doesn't take long. He doesn't even have to warm up for that one, as he just gets a few knocks in, and Enchantress is done and served up. And now mid lane, there's your lasso, kidnapping Mushi, bring him back in, clap, follow it up with the split. Can they save Mushi? Mushi goes down. So they get a very nice bounty with that one. And now, let's see if MVP can try to clear out, as he does pull out the song, trying to slow their roll here, and well, they look to shift on out, and we'll see if MVP want to pursue here. They don't have the lasso now. Jump back from Net. Net, remember, has the Aegis, so he can get as cocky as he wants here on his Lion, even if he can bait out some abilities. But inside the base, speaking of cocky, it's KYXY. He does manage to slip out. Puck's in there, though, and he does get taken down forever with the big swing of the club. Takes down the Puck, so they get 2. Probably the biggest promising fight we've seen from Phoenix so far, but just as I say that, Batrider's down as they return fire. Net catches him out. March desperately trying to get back home. Oh man, what have I done? I can't go out that far. And he does manage to slip away. They get 1 return kill right there. And as far as the fight recap shows, a decent swing back for MVP, but is it enough? We'll see. As Naga now, with 2K in reserve here, is going to book through the bounty, but uh-oh. Look who it is. And guess who doesn't have a song? Got to run from this one here, QO, as he will be able to slip out.
So the big kill there was especially on Mushi. Obviously, he's been the one running around with this kill streak and with this huge farm advantage, second in net worth. So getting that kill is absolutely immense. They actually got over 3,100 gold swing with that single kill, and that was specifically targeted for the Brewmaster who got the last hit. So he got 1,500 for himself, finishes up his Aghanim Scepter, and that's the utility they need to get back in this game. I mean, if they can lasso through most of the BKB, if Mushi keeps on using it to initiate on like Enchantress to negate an untouchable, then there's going to be opportunities where the Wind Panda can get that Drunken Haze off, and that's really the only thing they can do, is try to nullify that damage mechanism and silence the rest as far as the spells go, and just hold the line, get a kill or 2, force them back, continue to get farm.
And we'll see, MVP, I mean, they're still holding. They've yet to really lose much of their base. They've held the high ground pretty steady here, picking off a couple of kills and getting that rubber band effect slowly to build up. And there's no one better to have that effect on than a Naga Siren. So even though the score 30-8, even though I was looking at the net worth, you know, both the Timbersaw and Mushi on his Sven well on the head by, you know, 7-8K of net worth, you really never know. The longer this takes, it gets a bit more scary here for Team Malaysia. I mean, there's always that opportunity for just the throw to happen. A misplay, a great jump play, an excellent objective completed from MVP. They have plenty of towers to still get back on their side, and that's a lot of gold that could come their way as QO continues to find the farm right now, getting it on the opponent's side down here at the bottom. But still, it's seeming like they're waiting quite a bit on Team Malaysia before they want to try to make a push into the base. I mean, I don't know how long they're planning to wait this one out, but if they want to put a lid on this game, I imagine they want to get it done sooner than later.
Yeah. I mean, they're very hesitant right now. Getting the Lion to pick up the Aegis there made it so that the Mushi pick-off shook their confidence quite a bit in this game. They're going to finish up the data list, though, and...
The Bat Rider thinks it's safe. It's not safe, my friend. The Sharks are still out, and they get them done without even the opportunity to try to slip away. There's just immediately 3 to jump on, but, yeah, rough stuff.
At the very least, QO is able to cut the creep wave with the Radiance, so they won't have the creep wave to push into the base. That means that they can take off at least 30 seconds of Bat Rider's timer, and that's going to be enough to get him back in the game.
Tier 1 tower under pressure at the top. They pull out the fortification. They know Naga's not there. Naga, of course, with the Boots of Travel, can always make her debut into the fight in mid lane and pop up a song if the pressure continues to build up, but she would love first to get this down, and she does. Picks up the extra tower gold right there. This puts her up that much closer to finishing out her Manta. And Team Malaysia are getting ready to push the high ground. The creeps are finally in, and now they can do the damage. Muchi's going to nurse his God Strength. Well, just as I say that, he jumps in. Oh, man, they can't get it. He gets a split off at the last second, but my God, the cleave. Cleans up the rest of the Bears. He has no buyback. Now pressure on the racks. Where's our Naga? Where's our hope? She's back in the lane. She's late, and by the time she gets here, it's damage. Racks are down.
They didn't even get the global up. Silencer's down for 40. Like, how do you fight this without the global? The split obviously proved extremely ineffective against Mushi's bad damage, and they buy back, but even now I don't know if they can hold it.
They really can't. They'll slow it as best they can, singing her precious song of please don't do this, because it's only going to hold and delay the inevitable, it looks like, as they turn their attention back. They see Forev back from the dead. He managed to build up an extra bit of gold to buy back, but it might be a short life to live here, trying to get away and will fall. This might be the beginning of the end here for MVP Phoenix as they try to hold out. And yeah, there goes another sweet takedown. Mushi, no respect, moving in on from behind. Pretty low on life here. Naga pulls out the illusions, and they're doubling back. Mushi goes down. Mushi does have buyback, but he doesn't want to come back in. QO manages to slip into the fountain, and they return back towards this top lane. Naga's going to come in from behind and try to get something done. KYXY happy to go toe-to-toe. Nice sheep, though. Locks her in place. They burst her down. Net with the finger. Net with the killing spree. She's down. She does have buyback. She does use that buyback. And now they're on March. March is gone.
They're just trying to hold the racks right now. They've been playing around with the heroes all day long, but they haven't done any structural damage. So if QO can force back Extinct, they might still be able to hold this position.
Come on, Sprites.
It's been long enough where we could see 2 songs in one long fight. And well, Enchantress, yeah. At this point in the game, she can't really contribute a whole lot except just feeding over another kill towards Team Malaysia. And well, KYXY here inside the base with the Familiars are going to try to X the damage, but Naga will be able to hold with these illusions, I would imagine, and we'll see if Team Malaysia want to nurse back and wait for their precious Fen Mushi to return, and they'll just try to go another swing and maybe go for this top and clear it out as they've managed to clean out all of mid lane. The first significant damage they've finally been looking to get, and MVP, the pressure keeps on mounting for him. The gold continues to accelerate in Malaysia's favor. Over 25K now. Huge lead.
Yeah. It's just absolutely insane. I mean, MVP's just need so much more to bring themselves back into it, but at least there is still that glimmer of hope, at least for now. We're looking at Timbersaw. KOXY has 6,300 gold banked up, has a magic wand to sell, and he can pick up one more item. Actually, now we see on the Corey, he is picking up the Agate Scepter. What do you think, man?
We'll have to see, and we'll have to hold that thought as they catch out Naga here. They lock her down. She has Song. She gets the moment, but they time out. A very nice follow-up, Sun. And that's no buyback for QO. Forev, he does manage to slip out somehow. You know, knee-deep in a chakram even as he TPs back to base. But can they hold 75 seconds? I imagine this is the beginning of the end for MVP Phoenix as they continue to slowly hold on. They have been on life support for I don't know how long, 15 minutes, but I think they're going to have to pull the plug here, Blaze, as this is going to be a desperate effort to grab Mushi, pull him back in the top lane, and like you said, I don't know, man. This is it. They move in top, they'll clean out the racks. Mushi swole as ever, jumps in. Wow! That's a near 1,400 crit that puts him to sleep, and this is looking to be over.
Yeah, KOX5 with the double chakra is playing with them inside the fountain. They can't even regen fast enough. They'll just call it here, but it really wasn't
That's it.
out there. Oh, as overextended as you can be. Down next to the tier 1 mid at 39 minutes in the game in this position. Brutal, but obviously it was just a symptom of the current situation. Team Malaysia had complete map control. He was desperate for farm, and in that position he got picked off. So great play from Malaysia. You expected it from the draft, but so expertly. My goodness, they had such a kill advantage. They performed so admirably in every one of their engagements. Obviously, you got to give props to the 17-0-17 Timbersaw, played by KOXY, best in slot.
Yeah, not even going down once, managing to go with a flawless victory on his part, 17-0. My God, in a mid lane Timbersaw against the Naga Siren, she really was not expecting that, and she was very uncomfortable, as you could tell. As pretty much Team Malaysia controlled the game from top to bottom, didn't even give an opportunity for MVP to come back. The Naga just desperate for farm. That left the supports with nothing except the opportunity to just feed over kills one after the other. They tried their best to hold on, but it was to little to no effort. As that's going to be the end of our first game of the night. We got 4 games for you, 4 best of ones. As Team Malaysia are going to be coming up next, it looks like here, as I will manage to bring up my schedule. Next up, Team Malaysia is going to come back, and now they're going to be looking to take on Insidious Idol. Should be an exciting one. Be sure to hang around. We got a little bit of time in between. If you like what you heard, you can catch me over on Twitter at CoddleGuy. My fantastic co-caster with me tonight is Mr. Blaze. Catch him over on Twitter at BlazeCasting. Did I say that right, my friend?
That's correct.
Perfect. All right, guys, hang around. We'll be right back after this short break.